Yeah.
Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling back?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
With the mic, this is your boy Mike. This is my co-host Trey Nova. This is our very first episode, so I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. We got some special guests in the house, but I'm gonna introduce myself, kind of give a rundown on why we're doing this. My name is Michael Hatfield. I was incarcerated for almost 10 years on an involuntary manslaughter and felony firearm charge. I was involved with a lot of gang activity, a lot of drug movement throughout my life. But I met a program called Chance for Life within the prison system that has helped me change who I am today. So that's why we're here. We're trying to give a message. Trey and I were actually friends. We met in prison, and we came home with a new vision. We came home linked up, and we had the same vision. So now we're together to tackle a battle that we face day to day in our community and the way that our community is broke down. So like I said, I'm going to pass the mic on so we can get to our guests. That's the most important part about today. So Trey.
How you doing? I'm Trey Nova, if you guys didn't know. I was also incarcerated for 4.5 years on an armed robbery charge. Some things are what they're not. You know, they seem like one thing, but they aren't the other. You know, so I got this idea on basically bringing two walks of life together. You know, we both come from the same background in a sense, but from two different walks. So my goal is to be able to change things. I want to make a change in somebody else's life to make sure that another young kid doesn't go through the same choices and decisions and environments that I went through as a young child, though. So this is pretty much basically what it is. It's one person at a time. Let's change some lives. So
bringing change to Detroit, one person and one story at a time. Yeah, that's the mission. Mm-hmm. That's our mission here. But needless to say, let's get into this program today. I really want to say the topic for today is leaving 2020, coming into 2021. What do you think it's going to bring? And each one of you have a purpose for being here. My boy, Jose Rivera from Detroit Forever, 313 Clothing Line. He's here today. He's an ex-con. He came home with a mission. He now owns his own clothing line, and he's striving for excellence right now. Shout outs to my man. Jose, introduce yourself real fast, and we'll kind of ask you a few questions.
How's everyone doing? My name is Jose Rivera. I've been incarcerated twice, actually. 7 years, first sentence, and then 10 years. I just was released in 2017. I've been home 3 years now. And I started my own brand. Actually, my whole idea came about while I was incarcerated. This whole idea.
Yeah, I remember. I was at the table. I was eating a cookie. I'm like, man, what are you drawing? You're like, my future. I'm like, yeah.
And actually, just like Mike, I was in the Chance for Life program for about, 3-4 years, maybe time. And basically, man, that was the start of my transformation of the mind. Mm-hmm. And it took that to actually make me want to do things a little bit differently, actually pursue the things that I wanted to once I came home. It gave me the ability to change my thought process. So, yeah, I came up with the brand, and I've been in business for about 2.5 years now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about 2.5, going on 3 years.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So, I mean, that really gets us into our first question. So, 2020 was a huge impact for small businesses.
It was.
How was you able to manage and overcome that challenge?
Without being aware that COVID-19 was even coming, I kind of had that ability to critically think, think ahead and prepare for my future. So I pretty much everything that I made, I invested right back into the company versus spending. It was mostly just sacrifice and hunker down. So I kept being told finance this, finance that, get this, get that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to kind of limit my overhead overall. So basically, I just saved up a lot of my money. And once the pandemic hit and I knew that everything was closing down, I was working at Chrysler. So that kind of covered my rent, and everything else was just mine. So I didn't have to worry about credit cards being ran up. I didn't have to worry about finance and institutions coming after me talking about
smart management.
That's right.
So
$0.
So $0 was owed to anyone other than just my rent. So along with that came past sacrifices, such as where I was residing and things of that nature. So my building for my store was twofold. It also played my home that a lot of people didn't know.
Right.
So that kind of made sense at the time for me because it was my house and my business. So the back end of the building was my home, and the front end was the store. You remember when you walk in, you see the door. Well, you open that door, and there was my bed, my microwave, and hot plates like we had in the joint.
Yeah.
You know, we knew how to make a small area into something big. You know?
Yeah. Make it feel like a mansion.
There you go. Exactly.
Make it feel like a mansion.
Yeah, you know how it was, Tom.
Yeah.
So being able to live and survive in those quarters kind of gave me the idea, like, I can make this work. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice.
Okay.
And I just hunkered down, and, man, I sacrificed luxury, comfortability, and material things just to try to get ahead to do what I'm doing today.
All right. So you want to?
So what is some advice you can give other small business owners such as yourself?
I think the biggest problem with small businesses that everyone, especially when they start doing well, they start overspending. You know, they want to get a nice new car, they want the brand new shoes, they want nice chains, and that's just my opinion from what I see. I think sacrifice is the biggest problem that most small businesses have, and also relying on friends and family to be your biggest supporters. Because most of the time, it's the person next to you that you don't know, or the person that you just meet in the joint for a few years. Someone like Tom, Mike, I might meet you today, and you might come shop with me often, you know, as to where friends and family have a certain expectation of what you're doing. Right. And kind of like one of those memes on Facebook where it says, you know, people are happy that you're doing it, they're just not happy that it's you.
Exactly.
So,
that's true. That's facts. You know, that's facts.
Every day has to count. Every day you have to work on what it is you're trying to do, how you're going to grow your market, how you're going to expand your market, and what your actual market is. Because not everyone's going to like what you're doing, but you just can't let that get in your way. Save up, focus, plan, strategize, and word of mouth is the best way to market any kind of small business in my opinion.
Oh, that's well said. So I guess I've really been getting excited about this last question because you know I'm a Detroit Forever 313 fan.
I know you are.
90% of my clothing in my room is Detroit. I'm actually waiting on my jumpsuit.
Yep, I know. 2X.
Yeah, 2X.
Black and blue.
Yeah. Jose.
Yeah.
What's coming in 2021?
We planned on another fashion show because we actually had a fashion show last year. This year, because of COVID, I think that might not happen. But we planned on new apparel, such as shorts, you know, but different styles. You know, I don't want to give everything away, but we plan on doing bigger things, hopefully with the restrictions of COVID. We're still able to kind of bring everything that I'm hoping to bring to fruition. Definitely more women apparel.
Well, we definitely support you here with Streetlyfe with the mic for sure. So
for sure.
that stuff you don't want to talk about. I hope we get that interview to bring it out.
So,
We're definitely going to have Jose back on the show to bring in his clothing and present it. We've been talking about possibly doing a raffle for a jumpsuit.
Yep.
So
actually, every week, Mike, I do a kind of a special little guessing game with the helmet, at the shop. Yeah, it's based off this astronaut, which is actually part of one of my designs. So every week I kind of sporadically just throw it out there for people to guess who's up under the helmet, and we give away a free hoodie or a shirt or something like that.
How about this? Next time we bring you on the show, let's bring the helmet in.
Let's do that.
We'll pick somebody that everybody knows from your family or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll put them in a mask, bring them on, see who can guess them.
Let's do it. Let's do that live.
Let's do that on the show. I think that'll be cool.
Live.
Get somebody to call in live and guess it.
That's right. We'll do that live.
And then we'll do a raffle as well. We'll raffle off a
Sounds
jumpsuit
good.
from Detroit
For sure.
Forever. Jose, I appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we're going to have you out again. Stay tuned. We got a lot coming up. Man, I don't even know how to introduce this guy here, but he does wonderful things in our community. And I look up to this guy. I've actually been doing a lot of studying on him. And I truly appreciate him coming out today and giving us an opportunity to get in deep of what actually is going on right now within the department. Chief, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, everybody. I'm Chief Riley from the Inkster Police Department, and I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm so glad that Tom told me about this. Look, in 2015, I think it was June, I met Tom. I met Tom Adams, and he was telling me about his program, Chance for Life. And I said, man, I think that's a great program. And he looked at me and I said, well, Tom, is there any way that I can help you? And well, the first thing he said is, you can help me by coming from Alabama to coming to Michigan and help me out with this police department. So I was like, I said, okay, Tom, just fly me in, let me check the area out. And of course, I came in and I was like, hey, I'm in, Tom. Don't worry about it, I'm in. But I also told him I'm in with him on Chance for Life. And I've had the opportunity when he said and explained to me what he's been doing for 30 years, trying to get people back into the community and getting them jobs and reorder. I said, Tom, I'm in, and I'll do whatever I can. And I've had the opportunity to meet several people that have been incarcerated that have come back to Inkster. A couple have asked me to talk to them about, place to get a job. Went talked to certain companies, and they say, Chief, for you, send them down. And I remember I told the two guys, I said, look, let me tell you something. You are not doing this just for you. There's a whole lot of people coming behind you that you've got to set the example for. Exactly. And they say, Chief, we got you. I said, please, man, it ain't me you're going to let down. It's the brothers and sisters that got to come behind you. And even to this day, I'll see them. I'll be out and about there, holler at me, and that's what it's all about. It's about all of us. I mean, brother, I'm looking at you. You say, hey, I did this. I come out here. I'm gonna be my own entrepreneur. That's what it's all about. It's about us making the world a better place. Now, let me tell you something. All of us have been through something in our lives, whether we turn to the right or whether we turn to the left.
Exactly.
Okay? Sometime when you turn to the right, there's somebody there that makes that right go left. And then others, it ain't nobody there. So anything, the things happen. And one of the things that have brought me into Chance for Life is that I've sat in and talked to people, and everybody, 100% of the people have always told me, say, Chief, if I had just 5 minutes back, you wouldn't be talking to me now. And I say to myself, God knows, I wish I could give you that 5 minutes back. And I know it's genuine because they reflected on everything that has occurred. And that made me even more want to help anyone that I can get to the next level. And I know you look at me and say, well, damn, that's police chief. He locked people up. Yeah, I have a role in this life. But my role is not always to as some say, to the negative side of it. My role is to help build a better community.
Exactly.
Okay, it ain't about, oh, he done that. He no good to the community anymore. No, absolutely not. If you say you believe in redemption and those ideas, we have to do what we can to help our fellow man and our fellow woman. And I try to do the best that I possibly can, man.
Yeah, and that's why we know when we was talking earlier, I was, talking about possibly having you come back on if you was free February 11th
Absolutely.
for our prison reform. Because that's actually a big thing that, me and Trey's been talking about. He just graduated college, engineer, and has been turned down
Congratulations.
job
Wonderful.
after job after job because of his felony. So we're going to fight. We're going to
have to.
campaign, and we're going to bring more awareness. I know there's campaigns out there, but it's time to take this to another level. And so, Chief, I appreciate you touching on that, honestly. In your department, I know COVID has hit hard. Can you talk about how it's impacted your division?
Man, people just do not realize how devastating COVID is to small police departments. Example, I may run a shift of 3 officers, a sergeant, and so forth. Well, if all of them come in contact with an individual that tested positive for COVID, that whole shift is gone for at least 7 to 10 days. Think about that. That has occurred in my organization several times. So what that does is makes that, okay, Chief Riley's got to go out there and help answer calls. The assistant chief's got to do certain things. I've got to make everybody come back and do mandatory overtime. Not do you want to, but mandatory overtime. And the thing that a lot of people that live in cities that may have more money don't understand is that that's a crushing to the budget of small cities like Inkster and other places, because that money and that funding dries up very fast. And it's the responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, it is the responsibility of state government that they need to look at that and say, okay, look, COVID has devastated not only this city, the state, but the federal government as well. If the state is asking for funding from the federal government to help them get by, then it's only natural that the state must push down funding, additional funding, to these small cities that have been devastated, like the city of Inkster and other small cities. So it is very devastating, but what we try to do for our officers is that when they do have time off, we try to encourage them when they can to get out of the area to decompress, because that's important. Because when it's bad enough at going to call, but when you add on somebody sneezing on you, somebody coughing on you, somebody throwing something in your face, and you're trying to handle business, you're trying to deal with this, somebody's bleeding on you. When you add that aspect of COVID, that, oh my God, it's one thing that, okay, I'm cleaning my hands, but it's another thing that the COVID is in the air, the COVID is in the bodily fluid, and that I got to go home. And then we've had people close to us that have died, people that we know, people that we work with, that we dealt with on a major basis. The representative that died from COVID, I knew him. He was a frat brother. The sheriff Napoleon, who God knows worked very closely with the city of Inkster, made sure that his men were there. He passed from COVID. So this thing is real, and it's in shock waves. But I tell you one thing. I'm proud of the men and women, because you know what? They never said we ain't coming. They never kicked back. They say, hey, we just got to strap up and do what we do because we are public servants. And that says a lot for them. And that's why it's important that when they get away, when they're not working, they try to decompress. They try to do something else and go somewhere if they possibly can. But the citizens and the businesses have been great, because you know what they do? Just even today and tomorrow. Well, Chief, don't worry about it. we going to cook a home-cooked meal for your people. We going to get them lunch. We going to get them dinner. I'm a Sigma. My sisters, the Zetas, they came in, bought the brother. Oh, God, I know he's going to kill me for forgetting his name. He's a chef out of Detroit. He came in and prepared a whole self-prepared meal for my whole station. So we have people that recognize that we're struggling mentally and physically with a lot of COVID, and they're doing their part to take that, just to relieve some of that pressure. And I thank them very much for it and what they do. And that's why I do what I do. And the end on, I know some of the questions is, even with COVID going on, and we reached out, because we couldn't do some of the things that we normally do for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I sent out a letter to certain people and businesses, and they overwhelmingly responded with funding so that we could help people during Thanksgiving, buy Christmas gifts, buy Christmas dinners for our elderly people and some of our children that their parents were laid off. So even though we've got a lot going on with COVID, I'm very proud of many of the businesses that we deal with, the citizens, my fraternity brothers and sisters, my other Greek fraternities that came in and helped us and continue to help us. And I got to give, before I leave, I got to give great shouts out to, oh God, they're gonna get pissed off at me, but I hope not. Detroit, oh God, Pascal, they're gonna kill me. Detroit Rescue.
Okay.
Detroit Rescue, they have been tremendous when we call, not only for our officers' needs, because to tell you the truth, we've had some of our auxiliary officers that were laid off. They're auxiliary, they don't get paid, they volunteer, but some of them were actually laid off from their jobs because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And do you know that Detroit Rescue and other places came in? When I called them, I said, look, I got people that have been laid off. All it was, Chief, tell me what you need. Tell us what they need. And they were there. So, yes, it's a burden, but you know what, man, there's some good people out here in this world.
Amen.
That respond.
Amen.
So, Chief Riley, how is the department keeping the morale up? Like, how are you guys keeping people's spirits up?
A lot of that is done with the people that help donate to us. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is done with trying to make sure that as best as possible that when they're off, we try to keep them off. Yes, we are short, and sometimes we have to call in mandatory overtime, but we try to balance it as best that we can. We don't have that luxury. Police don't have that luxury to saying, you know what, COVID's out here, we're going to stay home, we're going to just answer the phone. Right. No. People depend on us, and we just got to be there. It's a tight, believe me, it's tight. But one thing we have done, we've hired 3 new officers. They're in training that will help take a lot of pressure off of us once they become independent. So we're working on those areas there, as well as anything that the citizens and the businesses do to help take that pressure off as well.
Chief, one last thing before we move on. I and Trey and I would like to help as much as we can with donations to our viewers, followers, and stuff like that listening. Where is somewhere they can go to donate or help out the police department?
Well, for the Inkster Police Department, we say just go to our website. All our numbers are there. My email is there. And whatever you would like to do, donate, just shoot myself an email. I've got she's a detective now. I congratulate her. She made Detective Lebo. She handles our community policing. And just shoot her email or myself, and we'll do the rest. We'll make that contact. And that's pretty much really how people contact us and get information to us so that they can help us.
Okay, thank you, Chief. And I'd like to thank your department. I know they face a lot of impediments in the streets. Every day they're faced with something new, life or death. So truly I'd like to say thank you to your department and thank you to you again for coming out. Moving on with the program. Good brother here. He's actually family.
Oh yeah.
He's actually married to my wife's cousin. So we're family. But he has came a long way. He's got a good story behind him. I'm going to introduce him a little bit. Demetrius Kirk. He's in the medical department. And the reason why I brought him in is because we brought a small business owner in. I brought the police department, medical field, and then a big, to me, corporate business owner, as well as a prisoner activist that's going to tell us the impact on what they face within a department of corrections when it comes to their programming as well as business. But needless to say, Demetrius, would you like to introduce yourself further?
Definitely. My name is Demetrius Kirk, as he stated. I'm a licensed nursing home administrator, as well as a registered nurse in the state of Michigan. One of the few African-American nursing home administrators in the state of Michigan.
Congratulations.
Literally hold up a hand, and I'm in that 5 that's African-American male in the state of Michigan. So,
good job.
Appreciate it. I currently run a nursing home in Southgate, Michigan, oversee about 70 patients and about 80 staff members. So COVID's been a big deal, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, Demetrius. So, I mean, first question. We understand COVID's hit the medical field dangerously hard in 2020. What has been some of the hardest things that you face within your department?
Ooh, that's a challenge to pinpoint to a few things. You know, COVID has come. It hit us fast. It hit us hard. You know, as a nurse, as an administrator who oversee a nursing home, we weren't prepared. I don't think no one was prepared for this pandemic. I don't think no one in this room can say they planned for a droplet pandemic to come.
No.
Some of the challenges that we face as a nurse, as a healthcare provider, is staffing. You know, PPE challenges as well, but I'll start with the staffing. Healthcare is short. You know, there are 20 million registered nursing positions open in the state, you know, well, in the U.S. rather. And with that being said, when COVID came, there became even more open positions for nurses, healthcare providers. Myself, as a registered nurse, I took care of these patients sometime, you know, by myself without assistance of nursing assistants, you know. This is because people didn't know what was going on with COVID. COVID came, you know, at first we thought it was droplet, then we thought it was contact. Now the CDC is saying that it is droplets, which is airborne particles. So now that we know how we can prevent COVID, we can better fight COVID. That leads to the next thing, which is personal protection equipment. You know, I remember buying masks from my organization, and a mask, you know, the surgical mask you see was 10 cents. Well, let me tell you, when COVID came, price gouge. I was paying 10 cents a mask, and COVID came, it became $1 a mask. Well, as you guys know, you know, your cost is going up, but the income is not coming in. So I'm struggling as an administrator to continue to meet the needs and try to keep my staff safe, but I'm not getting the support from the state, the federal government that I need. You know, the federal government's telling me I need to have goggles, gowns, masks, shoe covers. Where's this going to come from? So as an organization, we had to make difficult decisions to make sure that our patients and that our staff was taken care of. I'm glad to say that, you know, now that COVID is here, prices have returned back to normal. But, you know, for the first few months, it was definitely difficult with the prices of PPE going up.
Okay. All right. So within, I mean, you pretty much answered a lot in your first. So your second question, you've pretty much almost answered of in the nursing home setting, how did you manage to keep your staff united and not fight against each other? Because I know there was probably different thoughts on how to handle stuff.
So as a leader, I'm a leader who walks around. I'm in the trenches. I started this by saying I'm a registered nurse, which means I can get in there and assist you. I'm not a leader that just sits behind a desk. So with me being able to get in there and assist them, they saw their leader is willing to fight this with them. which is something huge for them. I remember doing plenty of pizza parties when COVID first hit to try to keep that morale up. You know, going around and talking to the staff and just hearing
I
their
remember
feelings
one
out.
of those nights. I was with you. We dropped off some pizza.
Yeah, I mean, when something's wrong, throw pizza at it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I definitely, you know, was in the trenches with them. You know, I cried with them. I hugged them. I laughed with them. And I think that was important to keep the morale up. You know, if I was a leader who just stayed in my office and said, hey, go out and fight the COVID, let me know how it works out, I wouldn't have staff. But, you know, being there for 16, 18 hours a day just to make sure, you know, my staff is receiving the things that they needed was vital to them.
All right, cool.
What are some things that individuals can do to help nursing home patients during the pandemic?
You know, the hardest thing that the patients are faced with right now is seclusion. And we don't like that word because in the state of Michigan, we say seclusion, we think of an abuse term. But all the patients are sequestered to their room. So I closed my nursing home down March 10th. They have not had visitors come see them since March 10th. You think about that. You haven't saw your loved ones since March 10th. So what I do say to families and the caregivers and their loved ones, Zoom the patients as often as they can. FaceTime the patients as often as they can. Call them as often as they can. You know, we allow window visits. You know, we line the patients up to the window, you come out and see them. Just because they can't come outside and see you doesn't mean you still can't see your loved one. So, you know, I have to follow the governor's order. I have to keep the patients safe. I have to keep my staff safe. But, you know, the biggest thing that you can do to help your loved one is to still communicate with them. Let them know what's going on in the outside world.
Okay, I truly appreciate that. And everybody that's listening and following, please understand, if you got somebody in a nursing home, understand how important it is to communicate.
Definitely.
Show your loved one that you still care and that you're there for them. To me, I feel like that would be an important thing. Demetrius, thank you so much for coming out. It definitely gave me a different view of, you know, our elderly that need taken care of and not forgetting them, because it really made me fall back and think about prison, honestly,
definitely.
because I've got friends that are still in prison to this day, and they're isolated right now. They're locked to their rooms right now. They're not getting visitations. They're not, you know, so I understand that. And it hit me harder really hearing it from you. So please, anybody that's following that's got family in a nursing home, please reach out, show your love and appreciation. Anyone that's got somebody locked up, don't forget about them, because, you know, it's crazy, because if you look at it, we got 3 people on this side of the table that was incarcerated, and we got 3 people on the other side that is fighting a different fight for us. So we need to come together and become a village once again. I think that's the only way that we're going to be successful in overcoming this pandemic. But needless to say, I saved the best for last. But I will say, this is probably one of the most flyest dressed guys that I've ever met in my life. Let me say. No, all truth and honesty, this man has had a huge impact in my life, Jose's life as well. I met Tom personally when I was 22 years old. I was 1 year in the prison system, and I thought I knew everything. And I mean everything. But I met his wonderful partner as well, Jessica Taylor. She's not here today, but she will be on a show one day. But their program and the program they developed hit home to me and to others as well. They was more heartfelt. They was more love, and they cared about you. They didn't look at you like a prison number. They didn't look at you as an inmate. They looked at you as a human being that made a mistake that needed a second chance. And that's what made me fall in love with the program, and I try to stand true to it. The times that I have deviated from the program, it has cost me majorly. And I think I've come to time on a couple occasions when I stepped out of bounds. But since I've realized the program worked, my life's been great. Needless to say, Tom Adams, President, Chance for Life, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself, tell the people more about you?
Well, just a little bit. First of all, giving honor to God, who is truly the head of my life. It's important to understand that I'm just a vessel. Jessica's just a vessel. All that work with us are vessels to carry out God's work. The things that we do, we're non-denominational. We don't restrict anything or anybody. We don't judge anybody for how they believe, because we believe we have to all come to the table, worship God in our own ways. And even if you don't worship God, we have to all unify to move in a common direction. So I am the president of Chance for Life, but I'm better known as Jessica's driver.
That's facts, y'all. That's facts.
I just get her from prison to prison. Yeah. And just briefly, Chance for, and I should also say that I'm president of TJA Staffing, which is an executive search firm which finds positions for senior level positions. What Chance for Life basically does is that we go into 9 prisons and we teach people how to think differently. We always say that it really doesn't matter, what you give a person. You can give them money, cars, whatever. But if they haven't been taught how to process information from a different perspective, when they're put in that same situation, they tend to make the same mistake. And we think we've been very successful in teaching people how to think differently. So if you never come to us on the outside, if we never see you, you still should be equipped to be able to deal with life, raise our family well, and to survive. So it's just a pleasure to be here among all you distinguished gentlemen.
So how has Chance for Life been impacted by COVID-19?
The biggest impact we've had by COVID is that we're not allowed to go into the prisons. We go into 9 prisons pre-COVID, and we go all the way up to Muskegon, Coldwater, Adrian. We put somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 to 1,000 miles a week on the road. And that's been our life now for quite a few years. Chance for Life has been around for close to 30 years now. So we can't go into the prisons. And that's been a strong impact. The other impact has been that on the outside, we're a very humanistic business, meaning that we provide a 24-hour mentorship program for people. We provide extended transformational training, employment readiness training, family reintegration training, which causes us to have contact with individuals. People are still coming out of prisons. People still have issues such as substance abuse, drug issues, other issues, homelessness issues, other things that we have to support. And so those programs, those problems go on, and they need somebody to be able to service them. So we've been impacted because we've had a couple of our guys that have actually come down with COVID at different times, but they stay vigilant. We've been very fortunate to have guys that have served on the inside for a long time. One did 33 years, 31 years, and I believe 30 years that worked for us. And that's been very impactful to have them. But they suffer like everybody else, but they stay in the trenches. So our biggest fault has been just not being able to go in and continue our level of communication we would like to have.
So how is CFL handling that, the lack of being able to go into prisons? How are you guys still working with MDOC to successfully train Chance for Life members within the prison system?
But now that's the beauty of Chance for Life. And that's what I love to talk about. Yeah. The way we handle things in prison is that we teach people how to think and how to process information and how to carry on. We have a small staff, And when we tell people we go into 9 prisons, and we have about 300 people in each prison in the classes, we probably have close to 200 to 300 people that are on the waiting list. People say, how do we do it? Well, we do it because the prison leadership that we have, manages our operation. So they teach the classes, they organize the groups, they handle the mediation process on the inside. And one of the things that we always teach, and I particularly push, is that what if something happens to me? What if I can't see you for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years? What happens to Chance for Life? And the thing that we teach is it's supposed to go on. Because I'm not here. We've invested in you to be able to continue this educational process to do what we do. And you also are supposed to be able to regenerate yourself with those that are coming behind you, so this should never fall.
Okay. So, Tom, for any of the listeners or followers that are interested in getting involved in Chance for Life, what info do you have for them? And where can they find information about Chance for Life?
Well, first of all, you can go to the internet and you can just look up Chance for Life. And if you go Chance for Life home page, it'll take you right to our website. And it tells you about our entire program. It tells you about our board of directors, our volunteer staff, as well as our mentor staff. It also gives you our address and telephone number, and I'll give that to you now. In fact, if you want to reach us by phone, it's area code 313-784-2909. Now, I have to read that because when I hit it on my phone, it just says CFL. We have 4 locations. Our corporate headquarters are located in Southfield at the 2000 Town Center, Suite 1140. We have an East Side location, which is at 6 Mile and DeQuinder. It's in the National Council of Drug and Alcoholism facility, and we have 5 office spots over there, and we practice prevention. We have a West Side location, which is at Plymouth and Steel, which operates outside of the Third New Hope Baptist Church. And we actually have a new location that's going to open up next week, hopefully in February, which is in the North End. And we are partnering with the Catholic Charities down there, and they're providing office space for Chance for Life. We're going to have social workers. We're going to have free medical care. We're going to have dental. Whatever you need, we'll be able to provide. And that services both for prison and the jail population.
All right, Tom, I got one more thing I want to add. Me being a Chance for Life member, and I've been a Chance for Life member for, I want to say, about 10, 11 years now. I know what the program has to offer. I'm living the program. I know it works. Jose's living the program. He knows it works. We're living examples of your work. I'm truly grateful. But what is some of the in-depth programs that Chance for Life offers if you've never been to prison? What if you're struggling? Is that something Chance for Life gets into?
Oh, sure. And I'm so good. And I'm so glad you asked that. One of our funding sources is the DWIN, all right, which is the Detroit Integrated Authority. Through them, we have the ability to offer a whole slew of services. Chance for Life, number one, when you come to us, we do a full assessment of you. And let me say the criteria first. Criteria is not that you have to have participated in Chance for Life on the inside. Anybody that's, number one, that's an ex-offender coming out of the program, whether they've been involved with us or not, is open to Chance for Life on the outside. On the outside, we deal with people that have prevention issues. We deal with people that are at risk, and just a slew of other people that operate at the lower echelon of our society. You haven't been able to find a job, other issues. We can deal with you. What we do is we provide mentorship services for you. Again, we provide you with someone that understands you and your lifestyle. That's your sounding board to help you reintegrate back into the community. In addition to that, we give you reintegration training. We have about 3 weeks worth of training that we give you that teaches you how to survive out here in society. A lot of guys get very frustrated when they come out. They got these high hopes on the inside. They figure they're just going to conquer the world, and they've been taught all these wonderful things. Then they come out and find people just don't care. Just don't work out.
Amen.
We teach them how to deal with those types of things. Job training, reintegration, helping them to find employment, health care issues and needs that you might have. We suit and boot all Chance for Life men with brand new suits.
Amen.
And for those that are not Chance for Life men, we have other suits that we give to them free after they complete our classes so that they can be available to get a job. And we do that in partnership with the Hot Sam's in downtown Detroit, and a slew of other things. I don't want to take up too much time.
I actually modeled for Hot Sam Detroit. I actually got a good relationship with them. So.
Yeah, Tony and them are great guys.
Yeah, I definitely.
yeah.
So,
Actually, I actually was one of them that got a suit. So I was special. No, listen, Tom. I truly appreciate the work that you and Jessica do. I don't want to forget about your team, though. Without your team, I know Chance for Life wouldn't be nothing.
Exactly.
I know how you are about family. So I know all praise to the Almighty first and foremost, but then I really want to thank your team as well at Chance for Life and everything they do for the community. And like I said, me and Trey's on a new platform now. We want to take our platform to the highest level we can by supporting everything that's righteous. And we support Chance for Life 100%. So anything we can do on our platform, please know that we're a phone call away. So anything Chance for Life has new that they want to present to the world, I hope you give us a call and give us an opportunity to present it. And again, thank you so much for coming out and giving us your time and giving us the information we needed to know about Chance for Life.
Can I just plug one more thing?
Yeah.
Every second Saturday at 12 o'clock, we have a Toastmasters. And the Toastmasters is geared towards individuals that have been returning citizens, just coming in to help you communicate effectively. And it's all being done by Zoom now, so you can do it from wherever you are. So the number I just gave, you can feel free to call. We'll get you information so you can attend our Toastmasters. Chief has been an active participant. Mike has been an active speaker, and it really makes a difference, and you'll see many, many people like yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. One more time, I'd just like to shout out Jose, Detroit Forever 313. Look him up. Go get it. It's the hottest clothing line out of Detroit right now. It's right off Michigan Ave and 51st Street. It's called Detroit Forever 313. He's got a Facebook page and everything. Go check it out. Jose, I'm pretty sure we're going to see you again. Might even have you back February 11th. Chief Riley, blessings, brother, to you and your department. I wish the safe and blissful evening for every night, every day that you and your team are out there patrolling these streets. I know you guys face a lot when it comes to justice and crime, dealing with COVID and the mask. I know it's probably a big thing within your department, but we definitely hope that you and your officers are safe out there on a day-to-day basis. And anything like same as Chance for Life, anything that we can do on this platform to help the department spread the message on anything that you have going, please give us that opportunity to help.
Thank you, I will.
Thank you. Demetrius, I hope everything works out in the medical department. We truly appreciate you giving us that insight because I didn't realize that nursing homes were affected like that. And right now it's like living in prison. So I appreciate that because it gave me a different look, and I hope it did to our listeners. One more thing before we end out, I just want to say up and coming next week, we have Bringing the Heart of Art coming to Detroit on Streetlyfe with the mic. We got tattoo artists and street artists coming in to talk about how much art has meant to them coming out of Detroit. We're going to be offering up a 1-hour free session of tattooing session. The raffle tickets will be coming out on the show next week. You'll be available for purchase. The raffle will go for 14 days. On that second show that we will announce the winner, they will get an opportunity to come in, meet with a tattoo artist, get their 1 hour free session. Second place winner will get a jumpsuit from Detroit Forever 313. Third place winner will get a $25 gift certificate to use, however they would like. We're going to be doing probably daily giveaways on our show. Got a lot of cool things coming out. Trey, anything before we get out of here?
So we have a cipher. So I'm an artist as well, a recording artist. So I want to incorporate music, because music sometimes can be a meditation for people. So people use music meditation every day. So for me, music is something that I can. If I have a hard day, I play certain music, and it brings me back. So I'm doing a rap cipher, R&B cipher, poetry cipher, spoken word cipher, where it's just I'll give you a beat, and we have a competition where the best artist, we can get him he can interview on the show, his music being played, we promote him, and just pretty much giving young guys that's growing up in the streets that like music to come to a safe haven to be able to go and get themselves out there farther than going to have to pay $1 million just to get promoted. So we're doing a rap cipher soon, and
I got a couple Latino guys that I would like to introduce to that too as well, from the Southwest, where up and coming artists as well. A couple guys that I know. Little young brother.
More in doubt. That's what we want. We want to bring the life back to Detroit.
Yeah.
We want to find all the people that's not seen, not heard because they don't have money.
Right.
We want to bring them people to life. That's what this show's about. So I truly appreciate that. Get their information over to us, and we'll be more than happy to give them their shout out.
And when you get that art stuff, invite me, man. I want to check it out. I draw too. So.
Yeah,
you're more welcome. Next week. Chief, any last words that you want to say before we close out?
I'm very glad to have this opportunity to be here. I hope you invite me back.
Oh, more in doubt.
And whatnot. Hey, look, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. I think it's so great to incorporate all this newness. I mean, it's. I'm sitting here. I'm looking at my gentleman here. What he's starting and what you saw him with the rap. This is important for people to be seen and to be heard. And look, I'm wishing you all the luck, and like I said, I'm hoping to have an opportunity to get to be back and make it do what it do.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Demetrius.
Yeah, as a nurse, just one of my last parting words is go get vaccinated. COVID has affected every single one of us in this room. We can get rid of COVID by being vaccinated. I've got both series of the shot. Haven't grown a tail. I'm still here. So.
Hey, now that was the thing that people were saying, shakes and shivers.
It's a vaccine, so your body may have some mild reactions, some discomfort at the site, fever, chills. That should last less than a day. But it's more important, as I tell people all the time, we know what COVID does. I'm going to end it with this. Today marks 72 days my dad's been in the ICU with COVID. Get your shot.
Well, we pray for his recovery for sure. Demetrius, I know that you've seen a lot of impact with COVID dealing with the medical field. So I hope that you stay safe. I hope your team stays safe. And like I said, we'll continue to spread the word about reaching out to your family within a nursing home so that we can try as a village to bring that morale back up into your nursing homes, into your department, into the small business, and with the prison systems, and to more corporate companies. Tom, will you take us out of here for the day?
Look, first of all, give it all honor, glory, and praise. And it's just a joy for me to be able to sit down and partake with guys that I met inside the system. It's just a joy for me to be able to sit down and partake with guys that I met inside the system and to see them flourishing on the outside and doing well. That's the greatest blessing that I could get.
All right, thank you.
All credit to your program. I gave all credit to CFF. Nice living in Inkster when I came home.
All right, well, that's it.
We are Streetlyfe with the mic and SDM Live. We would like to thank all you guys for your service during COVID, after COVID, before COVID, just in the community, making our life safe, making it a better place, making it healthier, changing lives, and definitely bringing close people back. So we appreciate all you guys for your service that you guys do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, this is Streetlyfe with the mic. Yours truly, Mike, and my co-host, Trey Nova. Yeah, we out of here, y'all. See y'all next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m. SDM Live. We're bringing the heart of art back to Detroit. Follow.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
How y'all feeling better?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.